gesso right here. This is just gesso. It's going to give the unicorn spit teeth to hang on to this resin. Now I'm just using it as a mist to blend. It doesn't have to come all the way across, just wherever I want to design. Though, just make sure it's dry. Just put it on low. Unicorn spit. Just give myself some light spots to start with. I don't care that there's still bleakaboo in here. I'm just looking for color flow right now, and light and dark. I'm considering that there is a sun or something up here, and it will be reflecting down here somewhere eventually. Still trying to remember this is supposed to be a palette. Trying to give myself room to work in light areas to mix colors on for my nails. Blend that out a little bit farther. If I mess with the gesso too much, it's going to start wanting to pick up off of this resin. So I don't want to do that too much as I keep doing it. I want some of that Hephaestus down here. So I'm starting to see some rocks forming. When you start seeing shadows and you see in your mind, it's like, ooh, look, there's a rock. Get it. Get after it. Get your brush. And the first thing I usually do is either highlight the top section that my mind is seeing, or I get something dark and I shade the bottom of it to kind of just block it in before I lose it in my mind. So, let's see. I'm going for some Midnight's Blackness. It's the black uber concentrated. And that same brush that has the gold, I might put a little more Hephaestus in there, because that would be fun. Just tap along that dark black. When I get to the edge, I'm going to start dragging it down, just pulling it. However the rock in my mind is shaped, that's how I'm pulling it. Now some of the super dark spots I want to leave, because it shows a rock kind of going in, that indent where the sun can't possibly hit it. But I don't want it all indented, because then I have a shelf, right? Because everything's so far back and even. So I just tap in some of the dark, and then I will go back with another color. Let's get that Zeus now. That's this one. I don't want to put it in water yet, this brush. I don't want that excess wetness at all. All right, so Zeus is coming out to play. I'm putting Zeus right on the top there. Oh, just hitting it wherever I think that light's gonna hit it most. And then that same brush, I want to get some highlights going from down here. I think I need a little more white. Whitening. Unicorn spit. I'm just going to go right over the top of that. I need to change to a smaller brush now that I'm getting into the more details. Take some more white, put it right on top of that as well. It's okay if you want to start building it up, because look, I got myself a little rock. Okay, I'm going right back over where I'm supposed to be making a white spot for my palette. Forget palette, I'm just going to do art. Just a touch, and then I wipe most of it back off. This looks like a great wave. So on that light zeateal, I'm just going to start pushing from underneath the wave to halfway up of darker. That's going to give me that depth of shadow. Then I need to pretend there's actually a curve in this. It doesn't have to be even, because waves aren't exactly even. I think it always looks nicer when it's not even, actually. That's just my own personal preference. And you can see with the unicorn spit, lightly brushing over the whitest spots. It's giving you that ombre you need going into the wave. Now before I get carried away and do the white, I want to add a little bit more interest right over here. This one's Squirrel. It's kind of the reddish rustic reality. I'm going to use the reddish brown. My squirrel that I put in. It's a great way to practice on resin. I would make a resin palette just for that. There's a rock right here. I keep seeing it. I try to ignore it. I can't. Ooh, it's rocky and exciting. I love it. Let me show you what we got so far. Kind of open that back up a little. Okay, this is too small of a brush. It will give me, let me show you why I've changed my mind on this. This is important. These little tiny brush strokes and all that, great for detail, not great for clouds, unless I want them to look like little tiny brush strokes. So I want to go get a fluffier brush. This one may be too big, but I'm going to try it. I'll go over those little tiny brush strokes that I just put there as a whoops. I can push it a little bit if I'm careful. But remember, I'm on gesso, which is on resin. So I add a little more whitening. Pushing that whitening right up into the already laid down colors of unicorn spit, which is on this was the Capricorn and Blakaboo peacock. So it's all starting to mix in now. It's nice. Nice and soft. Okay. Just a real light brush on those little white dots, leaving that last tip edge alone, brushing it underneath of it. Gives you that water line. It's absolutely fabulous. If it gets too hard to move, just dampen your brush a little bit. It doesn't have to be a full-on line, I tell myself. Breaking the lines up makes it look more natural, I think. Moon. And it's a zeateal moon. Whitening. I'm just tapping right up into the edge. I need a different brush. That was square, and I have a little issue with square brushes and round moons. Much better. So this one that I've had forever saves the day. Okay, so there is my epoxy resin mini palette, modified and enhanced with gesso and unicorn spit. And I'm going to drop some resin over it. Alright, so for my seagull, I like to do the little V at the body. Ooh. First. And then tip the ends. It's pretty much an elongated M. And then just a dab right there in the center for his little body. Then you can highlight its wings or whatever. So just an elongated M and then a dab in the middle. And that's why these palette knives with the double edge, one side is a little short and one is long, are so awesome. So there we have it.